Good day everyone. So for today's video lesson, we will have the application of what we have discussed in the other video about the sector of the circle and the segment. So let's find the area of the shaded portion. So let's start with number 1. So as you can see, the given is the measure of this arc. The measure of this arc is 90 degrees. So meaning the measure of this angle is also 90 degrees because this is essential angle. Now, do you still remember the formula in finding the segment, or rather sector of a circle? So the formula used is the area of the sector of the circle is equal to the measure of the arc over 360 times the area of the circle, which is the pi r squared. So ito yung gagamitin natin na formula. So we know that the measure of the arc here is 90 degrees and the radius is 6 cm. So gagamitin natin itong mga detalye dito para malaman natin yung area ng shaded portion. So ito yung hinahanap natin. Yung slice ng pizza na to, hanapin natin ang area niya. So let's go to the blank sheet. So the measure of the arc, according doon sa ating given, the arc is 90 degrees and the radius is 6 cm. Yes, 6 cm. So gagamitin natin ang mga data na to para malaman natin ang area ng shaded portion. So the area of the sector of a circle is equal to the measure of the arc, which is 90 over 360 times the area of the circle. In finding the circle, that's pi. Our radius is 6 pi r. So huwag na rin kalimutan yung unit used. So we're going to use centimeter squared. So simplify. So this one, 90 over 360, is also the lowest term is 1 over 4 times 6 squared is 36 pi centimeter squared. So what is 1/4 or of 36? So 1/4 of 36 is 9. So 9 pi centimeter squared. So therefore, the measure of the shaded portion is 9 pi centimeter squared, or 9, diba ang pi kasi is 3.1416. Tingnan natin yung decimal niya. So we have 28. Approximately the measure of our sector is 28.27 centimeter squared. So 9 pi centimeter squared or 28.27 centimeters squared. So the measure of the shaded portion here is 9. The answer here is 9 pi centimeter squared or 28.27 or 28.27 centimeter squared. Okay, so let's proceed with number 2. For number 2, the same also. The given here is our arc is 45 and the radius is 12. So we're going to find the area of this sector, the shaded portion. So 45, the given is 45, arc is 45, and our radius is 12. So we'll use the area of a sector, that is the measure of the arc, which is 45 over 360, times the area of the circle, which is pi 12 centimeter squared. So we will simplify 45. What is the lowest term of 45 over 360? So 45 is 1 over 8. So we have 1 over 8 times 12 squared is 144 pi centimeter squared. So 1 is 1 over 8 times 144. So 144 divided by 8 is 18. So we have 18 pi centimeter squared, or approximately this is equal to 18 times pi is 56.55. So this is 56.55 centimeter squared. So therefore the measure of this one is 18 pi centimeter squared, or 56.55 centimeter squared. So these two examples fall under the finding the sector of a circle. How about number 3? As you can see, this one applies for the segment of the circle. So in finding the segment, first is identify first the sector of the circle, and after that you identify the area of the triangle formed and subtract the area of the triangle from the sector para malaman natin yung segment of the circle. So we're looking here, itong shaded portion, this is the segment of the circle. So our radius, the given is, our radius is 8 centimeter, and our the measure of the arc is 135. Actually, you can extend here. Extend natin ito siya dito kasi radius man, so the same. So since 8 centimeter measure nito, the measure of this side also of the triangle is also 8 centimeter. So hanapin natin muna yung sector, itong buong slice. Let's say this is a pizza. kunin natin ito. So we will use first the measure in the formula in finding the area of the sector of the circle. So 135 yung arc, 8 yung radius natin. So arc is 135 and the radius is equal to 8 centimeter. 8 centimeter. So, hanapin muna natin yung sector. Find first the sector. So, the area of the sector is equal to 135 over 360 times pi 8 centimeter squared. So the lowest term of 135 over 360 is 135 over 360 is 3 over 8 times 8 squared is 64 pi centimeter squared. Then we have, sige, kunin natin ang 3/4 ng 64. So 3/4 of 64 is 24. So we have 24 pi centimeter squared. Or approximately, this is 24 pi, 24 is equal to 75, is equal to 75 point 75.40 centimeter squared. This is not the final answer. We just find first the area of the sector. Itong buong ito, kasali ito siya, itong triangle. And after natin ma-identify yung area ng sector, we will now identify the area of the triangle form. Itong triangle itong walang shade. Kasi pag ma-identify natin itong measure ng triangle ito, isa-subtract natin ito siya doon sa sector para yung maiwan, yun na yung area ng shaded portion. Okay, so in this case, we don't have the base. No, we don't have the base kasi kailangan natin in identifying the area of the triangle, we need the base and the height. Because the formula is 1/2 base times height. But we can extend, pwede tayo mag-extend dito ng another radius. Extend tayo dito ng another radius. So this one, as you can see, we have two right triangles. Ito siya and ito. And this is, we discussed this one that the diameter bisects the chord. Ibig sabihin, hinati niya sa gitna. Ibig sabihin itong triangle na ito, this triangle is also congruent to this triangle sa kabila. So the measure of this one, it will form a 90-degree angle. This one is 90 degree. So yan na. So meron na tayong measure ng angle na to, which is 90 degrees. Sige. Pag i-draw natin siya, magiging ganito na siya. Labas natin sa circle ha. Okay, ganyan, di ba? So, these two triangles are congruent. Now, we need to find the height. So, this will become, ito yung height, this one. Ito yung height. And ito yung magiging base natin. Hanapin natin ang measure niyan. But we only know that the hypotenuse here, the measure of the hypotenuse is 8 cm. So, hindi natin pwedeng gamitin muna si Categorian Theorem because we only have the measure of one side. So, ang gagamitin natin dito is the law of sines. The law of sines. So, I don't know kung na-discuss ba sa inyo during your grade 9 kung meron ba kayong trigonometry. I think you have your trigonometry during your grade 9. Okay, so in the law of sines, we need the measure of each angle sa loob ng triangle. So the measure of this angle, since this is perpendicular, so the measure of this one is 90 degrees. 90 degrees. So what is the measure of this one? This one. So the measure of this one is 1/2 the measure of the intercept. Kasi natin sa gitna. So this one is a right, it's a central angle. So the measure of the central angle is equal to the measure of the intercepted arc. So since hinati natin sa gitna, ibig sabihin kalahati nito is ang measure ng angle na to. So what is 1/2 of 135? So the measure is 67 degrees. The measure of this one is 67.5 rather. 67.5 degrees. And we also have ito. Ano kaya measure nito? So we know that the measure, the sum of the measure of the angles in a triangle is 180. Para makuha natin yung measure ito, subtract lang natin yung 90 and 67.5, so 180 degrees. So we have 180 degrees minus 90 minus 67.5 degrees. So 22. So the measure of this one is 22.5 degrees. Ayan. So meron na tayong measure ng each angle. So, punta tayo dun sa blank para medyo malaki yung ating presentation. So, ganito yung ito yung itsura ng ating triangle. So, this one, the measure of this one is 22.5. This one is 67.5. And this one is a right triangle that measures 90 degrees. And we also have the information that the measure of this one is 8 centimeter. Yes, 8 centimeter. So we will use the law of sines. So the law of sines states that A over sine A is equal to B over sine B, which is also equal to C over sine C. So in this case, we will identify each part dito para hindi tayo. So we can name this, let's say this is A, our capital letter A. This is our B, and this is our C. So the opposite of each angle represent the its small letter. So itong the opposite of C here is itong 8 cm. So we can name this as C, side C. This one is side C. The opposite of A is ito, so we can name that small letter A, and the opposite of B is ito siya, so this will become small letter B. So yeah. So, ito yung mga proportion natin. So, ang alam lang natin, yung C lang yung may measure, which is 8 cm. So, kailangan natin hanapin ito. Ito yung ating height kasi, ito yung ating base. Yan yung kailangan natin sa area ng triangle. So, identify natin itong measure ng dalawa. So, pwede natin gamitin itong formula na to para malaman natin na each side. Okay, so we have C here is 8 cm. Hanapin natin si B. So, we will use this proportion. Gamitin natin ang proportion na yan. So, since B, wala siyang measure, just copy B. So, B over our the measure of angle B here is 22. So, that's sine 22.5 is equal to, C natin is 8 over, what is our sine C? So, sine 90. So, we will simplify, cross multiply natin. So, B sine 90 degrees equals 8 sine 22.5. Divide both sides by sine 90. Sine 90. Ito, sine 90 din. So, cancel na ito. So, B na lang. So, B is equal to, so let's simplify this one using your calculator. So, 8 sine 22.5 divided by sine 90. So, the answer is 3.06. 3.06. So, ibig sabihin, the measure of this one, our height is 3.06. So, since alam na natin dalawang sides ng ating triangle, we can automatic use the Pythagorean theorem. It states that A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. So, our A is missing. So, A squared plus 3.06 squared is equal to 8 squared. So, A squared is A squared. What is 3.06 squared? 3.06 squared is 9.36 plus 9.36 equals 64. So, A squared is equal to 64 minus 9.36. 64 minus 9.36. So, A squared is equal to 54.64. Get the square root of both sides para makuha natin yung A. A is equal to 7.39. 7.39. So, therefore, our A here is 7.39. So, we have all now the details. We have now the base. Our base is 7.39 and our height is 3.06. So, we can now identify the area of the triangle. So, the area of the triangle is equal to 1/2 base times height. So, that is 1/2 our base is 7.39 times our height is 3.06. Ba? 7.39 and 3.06. Simplify natin. So, 1 half 7.39 times 3.06. It's 22.6134. Tapos, kunin natin ang 1 half niya. So, it's the area of the triangle. The triangle is 11.31. 11.31 centimeters squared. But this is just the area of one triangle. Balikan natin yung image natin. This is the area of just one triangle ito. But we say a while ago that this triangle is also congruent to this triangle sa kabila. So, parang mirror siya. Ibig sabihin, kung ano yung measure nito, ito twice lang natin. Yung triangle natin, since there are two triangles, then 11.31 centimeters squared times 2 is equal to 22.61 centimeter squared. So, ito na yung measure ng ating triangle. Ito, buong triangle. So, we are now ready to identify the segment ito measure. So, isasubtract lang natin yung measure nitong triangle doon sa ating sector. So, sector minus the area of the sector minus the area of the triangle. So, the area of the segment is equal to the area of the sector minus the area of the triangle. So, area of the sector natin, sana ba yun? Ay, ito. Area of the sector is 75.40 centimeters squared. 75.40 centimeters squared minus the area of our triangle, 22.61 centimeter squared. What is our the measure of the segment? 75.40 minus 22.61. So the answer is 52 approximately. So we will use approximately here kasi marami na siyang na-round off na natin, no? Kasi pi kasi yung iba. So the measure is of the area of the segment. The area of the segment is equal to 52.79 centimeter squared. Balikan natin example. So the measure of this shaded portion, itong shade, ito naka gray color, is 52.79 centimeter squared. 52.79 centimeter squared. Okay, so that's it. So itong first two examples are used sector. Tapos ito naman, this talks about the segment. But in dealing with segment, kailangan natin din baliktan si sector. Kasi sa subtract kasi natin yung measure ng triangle doon sa measure ng sector. Okay, that's all. So I hope may natutunan kayo kahit medyo marami tayong ni-review ng mga properties sa trigonometry. I hope na medyo may nakuha din kayo ng mga idea. So you have to refresh your trigonometry. Okay, so that's all. Thank you and have a good day, everyone.